Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, right here on Dork Tales. I'm your Dungeon Master Kelly. I use he and him, and I am incredibly excited to be here, back again with you in the world of Krynn. It has been a very long week for many of us outside of game. Robin, you just moved all the way across British Columbia, and I have helped you do that now. So I am broadcasting remotely. Hopefully all of the tech is going to work just fine. And I'm very excited to be here tonight as we go into another episode of this. I also wanted to do some announcements and a quick sponsor thank you. But first we should say hello to the cast. One thing, Christine is not feeling well. So Christine, I hope you feel better. We're all pulling for you. We all love you. And I know that hopefully this is just like a little cold or something and you didn't catch the big, you didn't catch it again. Because, yeah, the plague, man. 3 times in a row would not be good. All right, so without further ado, let's say hello to everybody, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I go by Blogg on the chat, and on the Discord, I'm playing Godfrey Highvalor, the Battlemaster fighter, wannabe-ish Knight of Solamnia with the kick-ass armor.
All right, down to Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin, live from a new location, and if you go into the Discord, you can see my my lovely space that I'm working with. It's been a fun. My green screen, which is why we're late. My green screen, literally, I spent like an hour trying to get it up this morning.
It happens when you get older.
Before game. Yeah, no, it fell down, so you had to help prop it up again. Gave it a little bit of a tug. But yes, I'm super excited. This week feels like... What?
You killed Cal and then it killed me.
Yep, it killed Cal and that was beautiful.
I went like this and I made like a zipper sound when you made the first joke and then give it a little tug.
Yep.
Just ruined it.
Right when I was drinking coffee.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, it's been great. This week feels like it's been about a year, or at least 2 weeks, because my goodness, the fact that a week ago I was in my old place and now I'm like 70-80% unpacked in my new place, and
oh, wow.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Yep. It's been a hectic week, but I'm excited that it looks like this is working out. This is interesting. But yes, I am super excited to be here. Woo!
Nice. All right, and let's say hi to Cal. Hey, Cal.
I forgot to introduce my character.
Oh, you forgot to introduce your character. What are you doing? Sorry, Cal.
Yeah, sorry. Introducing again as the Kinder way. But yes, I am Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Rizira Moonbrush, our Kinder swashbuckler rogue.
All right. Now, Cal.
Hello, my name is Cal. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Aurontiros, the Qualinesti elf bard. And yeah, today has been a day for me. I've helped 2 people move. Today felt like a day.
Well, thanks for being here with your amazing JoJo eyeliner. And
Thank
JoJo
you.
eyebrows.
I decided to... I've always had JoJo brows for Aurontiros, but today I went extra
hard?
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Or not really, I guess. I guess I always...
You always go pretty hard.
Go on point.
You always go pretty hard, yeah. All right, and over to Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Hazeal Nightgranite, our dwarven lunar sorcerer with the dramatic backstory, because you gotta. And she also uses she, her pronouns. And yeah, today's been pretty laid back for me. Started school again this week, and it's all about information policy, which is a grand old fun time and 90% of my job. So
Nice.
wee.
All right. So with that, once again, Christine, hope you're feeling better. We'll definitely get you back next game. I don't want to go too far ahead into the plot without Christine. So what we're going to do is we're going to write her out a little bit, and we will go from there as you go into the Shrine of Habbakuk. But folks, before we do that, I just want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor for this month. For the third month in a row, we are lucky enough to be sponsored by Bookwyrm Games. Bookwyrm Games is a fantastic Vancouver area dice proprietor where you can get some of the best dice on the market, including resin dice, liquid core dice, wooden dice, gemstone dice, including World of Darkness style D10 sets in gemstone, which may or may not come in your birthstone like they do for Chris's son, which was a great little thing that was able to be gotten. But they have a new thing that is coming out at the very end of this month, beginning of next month, called their Quest Chest. A Quest Chest is a system agnostic game in a box that has everything from maps, sealed letters, and coins and other cool things to help you run a pre-written story in any fantasy-esque setting. You can even probably bend it into non-fantasy settings if you did a little bit of elbow work. But the games also come with consumable items that either directly enhance or relate to the plot. In fact, I have it on good authority that one of the consumables in the boxes is actually key to solving the mystery. And I won't say which one because I don't know if that's a spoiler for that box. I should probably double check that. But you should definitely check them out. The Kickstarter is dropping around the end of the month, but you can find out more info at questchest.info. Thank you so much to Bookwyrm Games for sponsoring us for the third month in a row. I look forward to a long and fruitful sponsorship and partnership with you. Also, a big thank you to everybody who came out to Dork Tales Expo a couple weeks ago and who joined up on our Patreon. Our Patreon numbers are always in flux just from the nature of crowdfunding. So I just want to remind you that if you like what we do here, I've been noticing a huge uptick in our podcast listeners. So thank you to everybody who listens on podcast. If you are feeling so inclined, hop over to patreon.com/dorktales, join in and help support the channel. And very soon you are going to get access to not one, not two, but like 6 extra games a month over there, including an upcoming Star Trek Adventures game ran by our very own Bunny Hearted, which is gonna be dumb, like in a good way. It's gonna be so silly.
And guess what I started watching?
Oh, you started watch Lower Decks? It's real good, isn't it? Like everybody, there was such an outcry.
The first 4 episodes.
And it only gets better. It loves Star Trek more than anything else loves Star Trek, except for maybe the Orville.
Here's the thing: I'm not a defendant of like anything. I'm not the actually this part was a 2-parter, and no, nothing is sacred to me. Either things suck or they're good. And I went into it with just being like, okay, let's see what humor like era this is from. And no, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I love this.
Yeah, I told you would. Like it's pretty chill.
Futurama is my favorite show, so
one day I'll hit up the Lower Decks. One day.
Do it
one day.
Do it. It's on Crave. You can get that way, or you can find it through legal routes. Anyway. So folks, without further ado, I think it's time for us to hop into Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, here on Dork Tales. Any last minute questions, concerns before we begin?
Can I quickly show off what the lovely going away gift that Jen made me?
Yes, you can.
Jen made me she made me 2 chunky boys, and then she made me a dice set for Rias as a birthday gift. And I'm so not birthday gift, a moving gift. And like, look at which was the sticker one. It even has a little Rias sticker under the 20.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so to my quick announcement because it's so cute and I'm really excited to roll these
Nice.
finally.
Well, I hope they
we'll
give you good luck, and if not, feel free to put them in dice jail because I warned them that exists.
Good.
That's good. You built them. You put the fear into them when you were building them. So folks, we are going to talk about more of our presents and prizes during the break. But I think right now, let's hop into game. We'll talk during the chat break later today if we have one. So thank you so much for tuning in, and let's begin Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, here on Dork Tales, and let's hope that those dice treat Robin well. Last time, you traveled west along the canyons that make up the northern wastes. As you did, you had a brief encounter with the Wash, the flood system caused by Kryn's 3 moons that creates massive flooding inside of the canyons. With quick thinking and no end of luck, you manage to survive this first encounter with a flash flood, washing up near a group of Dimernesti elves. As you approached there, you were met by their leader, a Dimernesti elf named Ishvern, who explained that they were there on a pilgrimage to find a shrine dedicated to, well, to be honest, they forgot the name. All they know is that it's connected to them. Something as the Sea Lord is how they refer to this god. They had some trouble in the wastes. During their pilgrimage to this ancient site, they had been set upon, and several of their members had been killed and others kidnapped by the Red Dragon army as they moved through, their priest being one of them. Ishvern Stargazer, their new de facto leader, took point, bringing the rest to this ancient shrine. However, when they reached it, they found that they had no idea the prayer that was used to gain access to it. They never would have expected that it would come from the mouth of a Kender, who, after speaking the name Habbakuk, opened the shrine with a grinding as the doors opened before them. You looked down to the depths and prepared to go and explore the shrine. And that is where we ended last game, and that's where we will begin today. The ancient algae-covered double door made of white granite stands open before you, etched with the eroded image of a majestic bird with outstretched wings. As it opened, you could see the wings flare to light, blazing, a bright sea blue. And as they did, they opened, revealing a bit of a watery depth to it. The temple is flooded, about a foot deep. Not so much of a problem for Godfrey, but might give someone like Rizira or Hazeal a bit of pause. The doors open before you, and what do?
I'll cautiously enter and ask Aurontiros, sorry, I forgot your friend spoke common. Is this? Do you know what we'll find down here? Have you been here before?
I have never been here before, Ishvern says. I have heard stories, but I hope for the best.
That's not reassuring.
Yeah, what kind of stories did you hear?
Yeah.
Habbakuk is the Sea Lord. He is a god of good. He is a god of hunting and fishing and nature. He is a god of bounty. I do not think he should be feared. Walk with me with respect.
Look over at Hazeal. Don't touch any axes.
I'm not planning on it.
What about hammers? Mauls? Cudgels?
Maybe we should.
Maces?
I'm just not gonna touch anything except my own personal belongings. How's that?
We should make sure we show this place respect.
As you say that, Kelara will look down into the shrine doors and will say, I don't know if I feel right going in there. I'm not sure. It's another god's temple. I don't really know the rules yet. I don't want to make Mishakal angry.
I mean, I guess if you, well, because you're leaving a few, you're leaving a few of your men and women and thems behind as well, right? Ishvern?
Ishvern. Yes. I was going to go in with just myself and you, leaving the other 5 here to stay guard. I'm sorry, friend Drove.
So we'll swap 1 for 1. Kelara can stay up here, and you have us.
She is she's quite capable to aid your companions should the Red Army come knocking in our absence.
Levna will lean forward and say, "Are we sure this is a good idea?" Like, kind of in a loud whisper. "We don't know these people from anywhere." I could stay
and
behind too.
They've been showing us niceness.
Yeah, for like 20 minutes.
I think I'm, no offense, but I think I'm with Levna on this one. I agree, just in case. And if worse comes to worse, then, and I'll look worriedly at Kelara, you guys can come back in here and shut the doors. At the very least, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, at least the Red Dragon Army likely won't know how to get in here, we hope.
Do we know how to close it? The doors.
The doors swing inward, so probably pushing them, you would say, just taking a quick look at them. Hazeal
If
looking
say
at them.
Habbakuk again. Rizira's gonna say Habbakuk, see if it does anything.
Nothing happens.
Okay, it's not like not like the open sesame magic spell.
Say it backwards.
I will look at the stone and see if
Hazeal,
I can figure out.
You look. They're pretty like they're old but freestanding stone doors. You think that they would swing shut if they were pushed. Like, I'm not gonna make you roll. You're a dwarf. You're looking at old stone doors. You're gonna be like, "Yep, they're granite." Although that's, to be fair, you should always be careful to not take doors like this for granted. Good night, everybody.
All right, that's stream. Okay.
Yep.
Kelly gets disadvantage on his next.
I'll take it.
Next
I'll
roll
take it. I'll
against
take it
us.
for that. I think that's probably worth it. Okay.
Whoa, wait, we could do that?
Wait, we can just give you disadvantage. Huh.
Just only when he does puns.
So
Only when I do puns.
Kelly, you're breaking out the dad jokes there, eh?
Oh, no. That's your job. All right,
Guess that makes you a faux pas.
Oh.
And now I have advantage again.
They've canceled
right.
each other out.
They canceled each other out. Okay. So looking down, Levna will turn and kind of like puff up a bit and go, "I don't want to get my armor wet, so I'm going to hang out here with your boys, if that's all right. Ishvern. That's what I said. Ishvern. I'm going to hang out here.
Well, I know Kelara can definitely take care of herself. I'm gonna say looking at Kelara, but I'm sure she'll love the company.
Oh, yes, I really like the... we haven't had much time to talk, actually. I've never met any elves like this before. No offense, Aurontiros. Kelara will say, but you're not blue.
I know. Unlucky.
Oh, there's nothing unlucky about you. It's just interesting. It's a big world. Can you see? I don't want to point, but they have gills. Gesturing over her shoulder, you can see that they do have ears behind their long ears. And unlike Aurontiros, you are you're fairly tall for an elf of Kryn, but these Demonesti elves are as tall as Godfrey.
When she says, they have gills, I'll be like, I had gills.
Oh yes, I know. They looked very good on you. Do you have a campfire? One of the elves will. Yes, we do have a campfire. I could make some treats for everyone. One of the people they took was our cook. Then it seems that Mishikala sent me here to help. And I'll see you all soon. Don't do anything with the axes. Don't take any. I'm kidding.
Wouldn't.
And you,
Oh man, you touch one cursed axe and suddenly.
please be careful. If anything,
Who touched a curse?
if anything happens, try and retreat into the temple.
I was thinking of taking on the whole dragon army by myself, but I'll second
You'd
guess
win.
myself. She'll blush and kind of like do that little Kelara thing, the little shoulder shrug. I'll be out here. And where did I put my nutmeg? I hope it didn't get waterlogged. And she will head off to go work around the campfire.
Oh.
Are we ready to go inside?
Let's go.
As ready as ever.
Stepping down into the water, you will find that it grows immensely deeper. As you take a step forward and push into the first room, let us switch over to our maps. Stepping into an elongated room, you will see that this long room stretches ahead, its walls carved with motifs of rolling waves. A ceiling supported by twin pillars glows with faint light. At the rear of the chamber stands an altar carved with coral-like designs. Behind it rises a sizable granite sculpture depicting a bird from the shrine's entrance. Its wings are outstretched and wreathed in blue flame. An archway opens into a chamber to the west, while the symbol stone door stands in the wall to the east. Ishvern looks around and, as soon as you enter, directs you all to the western archway and says, "Before we enter, it would be a good idea to cleanse yourself."
Riz is already halfway to the bird statue as he's saying that. Okay. I
need to know. So, can you please? You're going halfway to the altar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
As you do so, there is going to be a sudden surging of water around you. Water is going to begin to pour out of the little holes in the wall, out of the coral displays, out of everything, as in the center of the room, all around you, you are going to see shapes rise up. I need an initiative roll as these creatures made of water rise out of the floor, which has now, just letting you know, as you're sloshing through, the water depth has increased. So Riz, you're actually in about 2 feet of standing water right now. So this is rough terrain for everybody here. As you do this, these 3 shapes that look kind of like giant creatures made of water with wisps and tendrils draping off of them appear. And I need an initiative roll. Let's go ahead and do it.
Oops! I'm sorry, guys. I was making a joke.
Oh my... Well, you got a 1, so that's good. Okay, so that's Ishvern. All right, and...
Well done, Rizira. Well done. Wouldn't
There's
have it
all right,
any other way.
Okay, Rizira, that is going to be... I have Rizira with a 29. I have... Orange... one sec. Oh, one thing about doing this remote, I don't have any of my books next to me, which I'm so used to. Okay, there we go.
Why do I
Okay.
have less hit points? Oh, right. Smacked into a wall.
Okay.
Yes, we also how long ago did you cast what's that spell called?
Pass without a trace? It would have
Nope.
faded by now.
No, the
No.
the temp
Motivational
hit points.
speech?
Yeah, motivational speech.
I
How
believe that
long
lasts an
ago did you
hour, but double check me.
Yeah, no, it's an hour. I remember that, but I'm just wondering when Aurontiros cast that because I still have the temp HP
Yeah.
up for that.
Okay, so then I
Right.
have...
Well, the temporary HP would probably last, unless it says they go away until like a long rest or they're used up. But the rest of it the other effects would probably only be for an hour, I think.
No, with motivational speeches, this is what I used with Keiko. It was
Okay.
it all goes away after an hour, but you just have it for that, and then once you lose it, once you get hit, you can get advantage on it, I believe, again, once you get hit with points.
Oh, you're asking in game time? How long?
Yeah, in
was
game
it?
time. Yeah, not for like that. I'm just wondering
Has
how
it been
long
an hour
ago.
since you cast it?
Yeah,
in-game
that's what I was
times?
asking, if we have it
Okay.
up.
Let's ask Mr. DM.
It's been an hour of game. You'd still up. Motivational speech should still be up.
Okay.
If it's an hour of game time, you cast that after. Motivational speech was between the two. It was between the water and meeting the elves, so it should be up for about another 15 minutes. Okay, so as Riz, all around you, these shapes are going to surge to life, filling the room with water. And as these water creatures surge to life, the initiative is going to be Riz, then the water elemental, then Aurontiros, then Godfrey, then Ishfern, then Hazeal, then water elemental, because one of them rolled a 1. All right, Riz, it is your initiative. What would you like to do? It surges to life in front of you. You know what? I'm gonna spend a hurt them more to preempt.
Oh no.
So one of them is going to surge up in front of you, and it is invisible inside of water. So it's going to have advantage on you as it surges up with its first attack. Does a 17 hit you?
Yep, that's just my AC.
Oh, thank God. Perfect. All right, Riz, water is going to constrict you, and you are going to...
Rizira, look out! Water snakes!
All right, are you casting it?
This is cutting words.
Oh, okay.
Which is a D8. And I should roll that, right?
Yep.
Or do you want to roll it?
Here's the question. Would you be able to use cutting words as Rizira was being constricted by an invisible enemy?
I was wondering if you'd be able to.
Oh, is it?
I mean, I know it's not a surprise round, but necessarily, but it is kind of surprising that this just happened.
It is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I'm okay. Well,
You're okay?
Is there a perception? No, it's dramatic. Yeah.
It's they're invisible, so like they're fully invisible while fully immersed in water, right? So
technically, you have to be able to see the enemy for.
You know what?
words.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, so we'll say dramatically. We'll do that.
Play dramatically.
We'll do it, but I appreciate the effort. You're a team player, and we love you. Riz, you're going to take 15 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need you to. You are going to be restrained, and are grappled. As this happens, tentacles are going to rise up and are going to pull you underwater and start trying to drown you.
Cool.
So that is where you are going to start your turn.
Underwater. Okay.
Underwater, going blub blub.
So, I hate this every time. I forget the freaking rules for restrained.
Restrained means that you cannot move.
Okay.
And that's about it, really. Attacks against you have advantage, and your attacks have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saves.
Okay, that's... I thought that was grappled. Oh, okay. Alrighty. I will... Well, because I lost my temp HP, so I have advantage on my next attack.
Okay, so you'll roll flat on that, so that's something.
Yeah, okay, so I guess disengaging wouldn't work to try and get out, right? No.
What you could try, if you want to, you can make an escape check to get out of the grapple.
I'm not strong. I'm slippery, but not
it's
strong.
acrobatics or athletics to escape.
Oh, it's or.
Yes, it is or.
Oh, fuck. Okay. That would be a full action, right?
That would take your action, yes.
Okay. I think Rizira is going to do that then. I'm going to make... yeah, I'll do an acrobatics check to try and escape.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead.
All right, come on, Jen. Little boy, I rolled a 5 plus 10 does a 15. Actually, I'm going to spend my determination to make that
Okay.
18.
Sounds good. That is going to be enough. You are going to go and slip out of the tentacles of this water elemental and are going to kind of like pop up on top of the water. You still have bonus actions and movement you can do.
Cool. As a bonus action, I'm going to disengage.
Okay.
Cause rogue, and then as my movement, I will try and get. So it's rough terrain, so 15 feet.
So it's rough terrain, and you were restrained and pulled underwater. So I'm gonna rule that you were prone. So half your movement is gonna be gone too.
So I can't move.
Yeah, you can move. I'll say that you can basically move to the altar.
Okay, sure, yeah. I feel
So you'll be able to go.
Cool.
Well, I'll round up to 10 feet on this.
Okay, thanks. No, I was, cool, awesome. That's very generous. Thank you. Sweet. That is Rizira's turn.
Okay, so Riz, you're gonna get weirded, and another one is going to turn, look, and actually, you know what? Another one's gonna try to grab you because you're right there. And it is invisible when it's underwater. It is rising out of the water to attack you. You are no longer restrained. Ooh, that is going to be a 20 to hit you, though. Unless,
Yeah.
now you can see it, Aurontiros, as it goes. Now, as it rises out of the water, I want to say that the front of this thing's mouth looks serpentine in nature. It kind of roars, bits of water pooling down through its liquid jaws. What do you do, Aurontiros? It's going to hit Rizira.
Pick on someone your own size.
All right, Aurontiros, what'd you get?
Come on. 6.
6 is enough to do that. You are going to climb onto the altar to try to get away, and one of these tendrils is going and is going to splatter against the side of the altar about an inch underneath your heel. Almost having gotten you as it kind of turns over its shoulder and goes back at Aurontiros. Aurontiros, it is your turn.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Yes, the elven magic.
As the ancient Eldar say in my village. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Yes, the ancient elf Boyardi.
Elf Boyardi.
Boyardi.
That
Famous
does have a
chef.
very elfy sounding to it.
Someone, I'm gonna put that on. I just bought new post-it notes. Hold on, I'm gonna put that on for a future game.
Elf Boyardi.
Elf Boyardi.
You gotta have like B-O''Y, like, or I.
It's an elf. I know how many apostrophes it gets, Robin.
At least 2.
At least 2. You get one for
Preferably
every
3.
for every degree you have.
I was gonna say syllable. Boyardi. 3.
All right. So, Aurontiros, what do you do? It's your turn, buddy.
Wow. Ishvaren doesn't know anything about this place more than we do.
It's not his turn yet, unfortunately.
Yeah. To the west end, what would we be looking at there?
So it looks like, looking into that room, you can see that at the center of the room to the west is a 3-foot-high brass basin filled with clear water. Relief ornaments line the walls, depicting great seabirds dipping into the waves alongside leaping fish and whimsical creatures.
Huh. Okay.
I love that the
can't-
moment you leave your cleric, this happens.
100%.
So I can't move past that first one because it's blocking the entrance, kind of. I'm gonna ping it, this one here.
Yeah.
I can move past it, kind of.
I'll let you do it with an acrobatics check if you want to try to do like a dive roll.
Oh, jeez. Shatter's not good to use indoors, right?
Generally not.
Maybe not
But, I
in this
mean-
temple that is, not our god. And
What would Aurontiros do?
What
Yeah,
would Aurontiros do?
do?
What would
Damn,
Aurontiros
they're not
do?
made of metal. Well, so long.
Bye.
Shatter has anybody familiar? What's the radius on that again?
Mhm.
I think it's 10.
I think it's a 10-foot radius. Yeah.
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 Okay.
So yeah, you can't move through through an opponent's square, but I always rule you can do it with an acrobatics check. So
Am I able to hit all 3 of these?
yeah, they are
with
clustered.
shatter? Like if I center in the middle there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna.
You can try.
I'm gonna
You can
shatter
definitely try.
them.
You're gonna shatter them.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What's my save for this? Let's do this.
The save for this.
Oh, balls. Well, one of them's fine. You know what? It's the one that got the nat 1 on
Constitution saving
initiative.
throw.
Constitution saving throw. Well, I got a 2, a 3, so slightly better than that with their bonuses. So a 2, a 3, and a nat 20. So one of them is completely unaffected. The one right next to you is unaffected. You're just like, ah! And it's like,
I feel nothing.
I feel nothing. We feel not. It's a nihilist. It feels nothing, Lebowski. Okay. So
3d8.
3d8. Give it to me.
No. 3 and 4.
What?
Come
Ah.
Dice, you're going away. 5.
Okay, 5 total.
5 total. Half to the. Oh, that one got a 20, so nothing.
You got a 20, so it's fine. So it's total of 8. You said.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, all right. How do you do this? How do you call out shatter? Do you just kind of like hold your hand out and just make like a Freddie Mercury noise?
A Freddie Mercury noise.
I can't hit that pitch.
But
you know
I
what I'm
don't
talking
want
about,
to
like
do that to the recording. But yeah, it's gonna kind of be like the ancient elven Thum rages from his voice, and you know what? I can still move, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna chance that acrobatics check.
Okay, go ahead.
Retire the bad dice and take out the lemon dice. I add my acrobatics. Okay, so 17 plus 7. That's 24.
I love how math works that way. 24.
Yeah.
With that, you are going to easily dodge around and be able to jump into that side room. You're going to be at half speed because of the 2 feet of water. So that's 5, 10,
Right.
15, and so you're like, boom, kind of just on the other side of him. So you'll dive through the door. Not provoking an attack of opportunity, but you will be inside of there. And anything you're doing inside the room? Is your move speed 35 or 40?
35.
So it's like on the cusp.
I know, yeah.
You know what? You got a 24 on acrobatics check. I'll give you an extra 5 feet with a roll.
Okay. Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Aurontiros not smart one magic water pool. So he's going to yell out around the corner to Rizira to hang in there while someone with more brains can help me figure out what to do. I'm being inspirational.
I feel inspired. I
You
feel
feel
it.
inspired.
Feel inspired.
It's a D8, right?
It's a D8.
Yeah.
All right.
It's my turn, folks.
All right. So the sound of your voice is going to echo out. It causes these 2 northern ones to jiggle slightly. And it is Godfrey's turn. Godfrey, there are 2 of these water elementals that are kind of like facing down Riz, and one of them is right next to you and Ishburn at this lower column.
Okay. I am not really able to get to Riz at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and switch places with Ishburn by using my bait and switch ability. If he's willing. And so that'll use up 5 feet of my move, and he will get 6 to his AC
Okay.
until my next thing, and then we switch places. And then I'm gonna move up another 5 feet.
All right.
And
So stepping into the center of them.
Yep. And
What do you do?
the one that's got Riz pinned, I'm going to start swiping at it.
Okay, go ahead. So Riz is kind of on top of the altar, and this one's trying to grab it, or to grab at her, but has not quite done so.
Okay. I'm gonna wait. So Riz is not restrained
She's
anymore?
not restrained. No, she managed to
okay.
escape.
Perfect. Sorry, I think I missed that. So I'm going to
That's okay.
attack the one that's kind of above the water there then.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's see here. First attack is gonna be 23.
23 is absolutely going to be a hit. Roll me damage.
13.
13 points of damage. As you dive forward, is your blade magical?
Magic? Yes.
It is, isn't it now? Okay. All right, so as you dive forward, you're going to slash or stab. What are you doing?
This is going to be a slash at it.
Okay, you are going to just slash through, and unlike some other attacks that you imagine would hit this thing, your blade is going to leave a deep cleft through it, tearing some of its watery mass down to the ground.
Nice.
And it's going to let out this horrible kind of undulating roar deep in its throat.
And
Anything else you're doing with your turn?
Oh yeah. Second
All
attack's
right.
going to be a 18 to hit.
18 to hit is going to be a hit.
Nice. And that'll be 14.
14. Okay, this thing, honestly, its form is starting to look a little bit. It's starting to struggle a bit at maintaining its shape. So looking
Perfect.
at it, you're thinking that if this were a human, it probably would be bloodied at this point.
Riz, now! And gonna use my bonus action on Commander's Strike.
Okay.
Awesome. So it's not invisible, so I don't.
It is
I
not
don't
invisible
have-
anymore.
So I have actually advantage from the
Okay.
temporary from the spell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the one you would want to attack is the one to Riz's left, because Godfrey was attacking the one to his right. So the one along the eastern wall.
Okay, that one, the one that is east. Okay.
100%.
Okie dokie. All right, Riz is going to do that. Come on. Oh, so close. We're getting so close to that nat 20. I want it. 24 to hit.
A 24 to hit is probably a hit with these guys. Roll me damage.
Yeah.
And you think you're going to snack attack?
Oh, totally snacking. Totally snacking. Snacking that attacking. It's 3d6.
They're
and
weak against
D8.
piercing. Get them. That's my motivation.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I also have that from you.
You can
Oh,
hold it.
that was a juicy. 17 plus
Oh.
plus 4 is 21, but it is not magical, so that would be 10 points of piercing damage.
All right. Well, stabbing into this one, you were going to see that in spite of that, your pierce kind of goes to this liquid core of it, and it's going to kind of just jerk back instinctively, trying to get away from your blade, barely holding on as your non-magical but still deeply piercing blade nearly discorporates it. Good work. Godfrey, is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to spend a drama bomb. Ishvern is going to go, "You must!" And before he can finish, a tentacle is going to rip him underwater. And he's going to start screaming through the water. You're going to be like, "Oh no, Ishvern!" And then you're going to see his gills kind of working. He's fine, but he can't speak very well. He's
What
like,
a good
all right, Hazeal, it is your turn now.
Cool. I have two options, but I would like to know if I could either make an Arcana check or know if I know anything about water elementals. Would I at all be able to cast like Dispel Magic and make these go away? Or no?
You can make me an Arcana check.
Cool. That is a 21.
21. Do you dispel magic? Wouldn't do that. Banishment absolutely probably would.
Cool. Then that's fine. I really wish people had stayed closer to me because this would have been great. But Dragon's Breath on myself, I'm going to do cold damage. And because that's a bonus action, I still have an action to attack. And I would like to breathe my 15-foot cold damage over whatever I can get.
So if you walk ahead 5 feet, you can hit all 3 of them without hitting Riz.
Cool. Let's do that.
Okay, so taking a step forward, you're going to... And I need some dex checks, don't I?
You need, I believe so.
You guys just missed the sickest thing I've ever done, and it wasn't on
by the way, I was
camera.
also casting it at a 3rd level. But yeah, dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
What
Like I was
the
saying,
sickest thing you ever did?
the sickest thing was I picked up my 3 dice, I rolled them, one of them fell out of my hand toward the floor, and I managed to bop it with my forearm back onto the table, and I got a success on it, I'm pretty sure. Just with this one, does a 16 pass?
Come on, scroll up. It does pass, yes.
Okay, so I have a 16, I have a 22, and I have a 5.
Okay, so the 2 that pass take half.
Okay.
Oh, 14 and a half, one more. Yes.
So many hurt the mores I need to use.
That is 20 damage or 10 to the ones that passed.
Okay, it's 10 to the one that passed. Okay, so that one is still up. That one is... Man, the one that was rolling really well got totally hooped by that. Okay. All right, so Hazeal, breathing a deep... You're going to unleash this like torrent of ice out of your throat that is going to slam into these 3 water creatures, which on your Arcana check, you're pretty sure that you know that they're water weirds. If you had to put it to a bet, you think they're not pure elementals. You think they're water weirds, which are they're elemental in nature, but specifically, they are. There's a lot of info about them, but basically, they are very territorial water spirits.
Ah, fair. Now, I don't know. This is why I chose to do it this way, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Is there any chance that this froze any of the water?
It did not, unfortunately, because are you trying to get some better movement?
Partially, and just restrict theirs.
Unfortunately not. If you had something good happens, then yes, but I don't have any of those right now. But it was, so you're going to see one of them is like, and as that happens, it's going to be its turn. The one right in front of you is going to kind of shudder against the ice that's kind of frosted over it, and is going to smash out of it, and is going to turn to you and go, and is going to try to grapple you. I'm going to spend a hurt them more to get advantage. And that sucked. I'm going to spend another one to reroll one of those. That's better. Does a 15 hit you? You did have mage armor on.
Yes. Just.
Okay. So
yeah, I had to remember what mage armor gave me as a base. I was like, what is it again? But I got it.
okay. It is going to kind of explode out and is going to constrict around you, going, and is going to give you 10 points of bludgeoning damage. You are now restrained, and it's going to force you under the water. And I'm going to spend a hurt them more right now to say you're surprised by this. Make me a con save to not start drowning.
Sorry, math.
Totally.
Because I had to do the temporary hit points and then be like, how much is 5?
Yeah, and then you got to do the concentration save for Dragon's Breath.
Oh yeah,
which you'll probably pass.
That was
it's
a
like nothing.
23.
Yeah, it's like nothing. But make me a con save for drowning.
Has a 17.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna go, "Ooh," and you're gonna feel the water start to like go up your nose and in your ears, but you're gonna manage to clamp down and not breathe in, even though it kind of catches you off guard. And that is going to be that round. Top of the initiative, Riz. It is your turn.
Okay. I think Riz is going to make. How hurt is that one weird looking? Well, she doesn't know it's weird, but how is that one looking that Godfrey and her have been attacking?
Really, really close to discorporation. It's looking rougher than you think that it probably could be.
Okay, I think Riz is going to take an attack at that.
Okay.
Because she can. Ooh, 7 plus 7 is 14. I'm gonna spend that bardic that
And you also have your determination back.
Yeah. That Aurontiros gave to me. Where did I put that D8? I put it aside somewhere. I have the world's smallest desk right now. I don't know where it is. All right, so I said 14 plus 2 is a 16. Does a 16 hit?
16 will hit. Roll me damage.
Sweet. Snack attack. Can't wait till next level because my snack attack goes up next level too. Oh, okay. It's okay. 16 plus 4 is 20. So 10. Yeah.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you tell me how you want to do this?
Okay. It like looks like moving water, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think Riz is kind of like half climbing, standing on the altar. I think she's going to just take her rapier and she's going to be like, oh, this is too weird, not knowing that it's the weird. And then she's just going to like do some like weird kind of like slashes, almost trying to like interrupt like a flow or something. So she's just gonna like quickly like slash like where its head is and like slash down, just trying to like cut it into many water pieces as she can as she's doing this.
All right, doing so, your rapier is going to slash through, and the one to the east of the rest are going to just corporate down into water.
And then for the rest of my turn, I think Riz is going to she's going to take the disengage action as her bonus action from this weird that is still up, and she's going to fully climb onto the altar, and if there's anything on it, her object interact will be looking at anything on the altar.
All right, sounds good. Climbing up on the altar, you're going to be like covered in water. One of those weirds is dead. The other that is right next to you is going to dive underwater and vanish. Godfrey, what's your armor class right now?
21.
Cool. So the 24 definitely hits. As you're kind of looking around for a second, one of them vanishes into the water. For a second, you think that Riz might have taken the other one down.
Good job.
And then suddenly, the other one emerges behind you and is going to grab onto you, Godfrey. Godfrey, you're going to do me a favor. You're going to take me 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And I'm going to spend a hurt them more. To that's not quite. What's yours? Is it 21? That's
21.
Not quite enough. 21? No, that's only an 18. Yeah, it's only an 18. Even if you're. Oh wait. But yes. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so it's going to constrict you. You are now restrained, and it's going to try to slam you into one of the pillars nearby. It will do so, but your armor is going to basically absorb most of it, and are going to and it's going to just pull you toward it, and it's going to hiss in your face. Bits of slime and thick water and thick seawater is going to right in your face.
I drink you for breakfast.
I'm just gonna another hurt them more. I'm gonna attack you again. For that, I'm gonna do it again.
Beautiful.
Okay, and does an 11 hit you?
No.
All right. I got nothing then. I got one hurt them more, and I'm saving it. Okay, so that is going to be its turn as it kind of hisses at you. Then Aurontiros, we are down to you, my friend. You have dived into the room with that pool. What do you do?
Oh, jeez. And our friend Ishvern
Is like
Is
being
pulled
throttled underwater right now. Just you can see that he's kind of struggling as these tendrils are wrapped around. He keeps going, like getting slammed into the floor.
that one has both Hazeal and Ishvern.
It does, yes, it does.
Oh, I hate it when Dratini uses crap. How do I help?
I don't know, but the chat just bought me 5 hurt the mores.
How dare they?
Thanks,
But-
guys.
Aurontiros is aware that Hazeal can grow gills, so she'll be fine.
You presume he remembers things.
This is true. This is true. I forgot.
It's a negative intelligence.
Yeah.
That could have
yeah,
just
yeah.
been spontaneous dwarf magic. No, he saw her. He saw her on there.
Thank you for the
Man,
something
boy.
good happens.
How does an elf help? I can't grapple this thing. It's not an animal.
I love this dungeon so much for some obvious reasons that will become apparent later.
I can't just wait a second. Bane do. Hold my flask.
Okay.
Bane, I'm just double checking. Village.
I rarely get to be smug as a dungeon master, but this is definitely one of those times.
Can I do, what kind of action would it take to, I don't know, would that be religion check to see if this little pool behind me has anything to do with what Ishvern had said about cleansing ourselves?
You can make me a religion check. Absolutely.
All right, religion check is, oh, that's at a -1.
Don't
But
forget
you get
half
your
your-
bardic.
Oh, that plus, that's
Jack of all
right,
trades.
zero,
trades.
baby. Oh, so close. 17?
17's pretty good. Honestly, he was like he was in the middle of saying, you should definitely go over there and cleanse yourselves out of respect for the temple before what?
And then before Rizira was like, ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, you like in Elven society, Elven gods on Kryn and basically in any setting are big on the cleanliness thing. It's the whole like, oh, bless yourself before you walk into the temple,
Bless yourself before you wreck yourself.
and don't like track your boots in and just like put them on the altar.
What kind of action would it be to just kind of splash himself?
So you can absolutely just cleanse yourself. You totally can. It'll just you can do it as an object interact if you like.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
And see, I'm good at the supporting my friends doing things. When it comes to the stopping monsters from grappling people things, I'm
Drop
I
a
mean-
bardic on us, and you might not be able to do much else. But if you have any, but
you know what? I'm gonna do both.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Bane on this good. Oh, up to 3 creatures. Okay, both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, you can do both of them.
Yeah,
you
I'm
can throw
gonna
one
do
on
that.
Godfrey for fun.
Yeah. for funsies.
Just for giggles, you know.
Elvish practical
creatures of your
jokes.
choice can see. Ooh, concentration, a drop of blood. All right. The target must make a 1d4, subtract the number rolled. Okay, yeah. Let's bane these two guys.
Nice. I don't have a save on Bane, right?
Must make charisma saving throws.
Oh, these guys are really charismatic.
Don't.
You're fine.
Oh.
You're fine. You're fine. These guys are just like the coolest guys at that water weird high school.
They take out sunglasses and. All right, and then for a bonus action, use almost my last inspiration on who needs it. Who cannot breathe underwater? Godfrey, leaning under the water and using echolocation. You can do it, buddy. Wait, I can't use it on him. You know what? He can't hear me. He's underwater, right?
No, he's being slammed into the wall. Godfrey is above water right now, so you can give it to him.
All right. Godfrey, keep it up.
All right. That's going to be your turn. Godfrey, how do you keep it up? It's your turn.
I'm going to try and break free from this using athletics and the inspiration.
Sounds good. This will take your action. Go ahead.
Nice. Let's see here. Holy crap. 28.
28 is definitely enough. How do you break out of this?
I'm going to use the Ispin shield and just kind of like bash into it and try and like get off me,
It's going to
try
and drop you into the water below.
Perfect.
Okay.
And
Do you have a
then-
bonus action you'd like to use?
I certainly do. Rizira, do the thing.
All right, Rizira.
All right. So, can I use my hoopak to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. I will make the hoopak and. Sorry if that got loud. I was leaning forward. Chunky dice, come here. Oh, that's a 14 plus 7. That's gonna be a 21.
21 will be a hit.
Sweet. I will swap
So
out that
a
D6.
warbling noise is going to come out of you as you reach up and just whip your hoopak around.
Yeah. So this is going to be bludgeoning damage. If that, it's still non-magical, but it will be bludgeoning. Oh wait, that's a D4, not a D6 that I'm rolling for the hoopak. Come here, D4. So hard to pick up. Ooh, that's not terrible. 9, 11, 14 plus 4 is 18 points of bludgeoning damage. So 9.
Right.
It's half.
Okay, that sounds good to me. All right, so that's going to sail through the one that's holding Godfrey?
Yeah.
Or that was holding Godfrey?
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to splut into it. It's going to turn and look at you. Like it almost forgot you, and it kind of has been reminded of you. And it is going to spend a hurt them more to make an attack on you.
Oh no, okay.
Double 9s, that is double 14s. That's not enough. So it's going to go splish, splish. And is going to splish splash.
Riz is definitely doing like she's going to be on the altar and she's going to do the the JoJo almost like that JoJo and just like lean back super
just
far.
JoJo pose out of that.
Yeah, just JoJo
Welcome
pose.
to JoJo. If you guys really want, by the way, and you want, I have designed a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure tabletop game using Powered by the Apocalypse, and I would run it for Extra Life to raise money for
I was
sick
gonna
kids.
say
So
Extra Life when?
Extra
Yes.
Life, when? Let me know. Let me know in the
July,
comments.
August.
I was in the middle of I'll tell you about it during the break. Remind me. It's a
Okay.
great one. It's got the stats are so good. Okay, so that is going to be Godfrey's turn. You're going to dodge out of the way. Ishvern, I'm going to keep him underwater with a hurt the more because you know what? I'm gonna attack Hazeal again, I think. So Hazeal, you're being grappled underwater. One of them is going to spend a hurt the more to preempt. because its initiative was 1, and is going to go boom, and is going to bash you on the ground again for 9 points of damage. Not terribly much, but you're going to get your head racked against the ground again, as this thing grapples onto you and continues to go into the ground.
I'm gonna drop. I'm not gonna make the concentration check. I'm just gonna drop it.
Okay. Hazeal, it is your turn now.
Cool, because I was gonna drop it anyway, so I can cast Alter Self on myself and not drown.
Okay. Sounds good.
Aquatic
All right.
adaptation.
So using aquatic adaptation, you will suddenly feel the oxygen fill your veins again as you breathe deeply through your gills.
And that's all I can do. But at least
That is not all you can do, because now that you can breathe underwater, you can hear this echoing through where you were boom, boom, boom near Ishford, and he'll go, "Just apologize." He says underwater. Just say you're sorry.
Okay.
But to rescue it's
Yeah. Damn it. I could have. Okay. I can't do anything this round. I mean, I can apologize myself, but I don't think it's gonna work for me to do it, and Hazeal doesn't think it's gonna work for her. But I didn't spend the sorcery point to do that as a bonus action, so I can't cast message right now.
You know what? I have something good happens.
Cool. Will you let me
Yep, you spent the sorcery point on that, it turns out. Done. It's spent.
Yay, I spent it. And so I'm gonna cast message as my cantrip and message Riz and be like, apologize, please. Apologize to it.
Okay. So here is what's going to happen. I'm going to spend one of my remaining Hurt Them Mores, and the one that is that Riz antagonized is going to dive at her. Again, you just JoJo pose it out of the way. It is going to dive at you, and you know what? I've got like 3 Hurt Them Mores left. I'm going to spend to get advantage as well. Boop, boop.
You get minus 1d4.
Oh, I can minus 1d4, can't I? Good, because this is gonna be rough. Okay, so I have an 18 to hit you right now, and I need a 17. So if I roll a 1 on this, you're still hit. And I rolled a 1 on it. It's so good. It's so good. Riz, you're gonna take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as this goes and is going to wrap around. You try to JoJo pose out of the way, and you're like, oh my god, as you're grabbed. Oh no!
Oh no, Riz is looking real bad right now.
And it's gonna pick you up off the ground and start pulling you toward it, and it's your turn.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step in the thing. I'm sorry.
And so you are going to apologize as your action?
Yep. Can I say, except I'm sorry?
And as it pulls you forward, it's going to kind of go into your face, kind of bubbling, and it's going to go, and it's going to splash to the ground, dropping you into the water. And combat has ended.
Sorry, what were you saying, Ishfern?
What? Be on guard. They did this to me earlier.
Wash yourselves before going into the temple so you don't desecrate it.
Oops.
Hazeal, under the water still, because that's where I can breathe right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna use an action to change my alter self into natural weaponry so that I have claws, because then I can maintain that concentration for up to an hour and just have these +1 magical claws, and swap back as an action to aquatic if I need to.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And then I'll come out of the water and be like, ugh, unpleasant.
As I was saying, please come in here. Wash yourselves. Then we will go inside of the temple. And with that, Ishvern will walk into the cleansing room and will begin washing himself for a minute.
I will gesture for everyone else to go in, and we'll go in there after. Just making sure that there's no last minute surprise snack water attacks.
Hazeal will go in and add water to her water and be cleansed.
Okay. Riz, do you go in and take a bath as well?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. Riz is bathing it up right now. She's going to be like, listen, I know we just kind of got here, but I got pretty beat up.
Yes, we can take a rest.
Okay, great. That would be lovely.
Just make sure you're clean before we go in next time, short one.
I'm sorry, I kind of have a tendency to get like really focused on something, and I just
You
kind of
remind me of my
consume-
cousin, Miri. Basically a Kender, big blue one.
Should we maybe get a leash?
Ooh, that could be useful.
Rude. Kinder on a leash. That is so.
If you keep running ahead and causing that, dripping wet is just like
Fine. You may have a point there.
So looking at this, you'll see Ishvern reach into the pool and begin washing his face and his body, his hands. And as he does, you're going to see that he has this kind of orangish pink webbing between all of his fingers that allow him to cup the water really well as it trickles down his scarred blue body. Shall we go? After your rest? How long do you need?
Like the quick 10 minutes.
Just need to catch our breath.
Yeah.
Make sure you're scrubbed nice and clean. And with that, you take about 10 minutes to wash yourselves and clean. Go ahead and spend your temp hit points. Or, pardon me, don't spend your temp hit points. Go ahead and
Hit dice.
spend your hit dice.
So
Yep.
I've never done a short rest. I don't know exactly
Okay,
what.
so it's
Yeah.
the best. It's the best, Hazeal. So for one, you get your sorcerer. So there are some benefits and disadvantages. If you're a wizard, you'd get arcane recovery. But the way this works is you have hit dice up to your character level. Since you're brand new to 5e, this is a great way to explain this.
Yeah.
So at this level, you have 6 hit dice. What that means is you can choose any number of those to roll. They're expended until your next long rest. When you roll them during a short rest, you add your constitution modifier to each dice independently, and you gain that many hit points back. Yeah,
Okay,
clerics
cool.
are really useful in this game, but they are no longer essential in 5e. So long as you can... Short rests normally take an hour. I cut them down to about 10-15 minutes, just because it's enough time to bandage your wounds, catch your breath.
All right, I've spent 3 of my 6 hit dice, and I've gone back up to 55 out of 59 because I was down to 28.
I
Nice.
just rolled 2 6s on my 2 dice.
Nice. Also, as you're doing this, everyone who washes themselves at the shrine, please take 5 temporary hit points as you feel invigorated.
Lovely. All right.
Nice.
Cool. I think that's what, like, as part of the rest, I think Riz is really trying to, like, make up for the fact that she triggered that. So she's, like, super, like, scrubbing everywhere.
So, just as an aside, I chose 2 dice to roll because I have a pretty high constitution modifier for, a sorcerer. But because I rolled 2 6s, I'm back up at full. And it's
Right?
fantastic.
It's great, right? During the break, I'll talk more about some of the other things I want to use hit dice for, because I think they're an underused mechanic. But, all right, with that, you wash yourselves and you wait for the right time to move forward, which actually I think we're going to do after this quick break. So, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute as we descend deeper into the Shrine of Habbakuk. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the part of the program where we talk to you, the chat. Let me introduce you to someone. This is my newest dice tray.
That sound is so satisfying.
It's so good, guys. Look at this. Look at this. He's got a hole in his head. I love him.
It's pretty great.
Robin.
I'd like you to meet this very sexy lady too. She also is finding herself just a bit light on the head right now, but she's
a little brainless.
sexy. Yeah, but
Dice
look
on
at the
the
pretty
head.
flowers.
Nice in the brain.
And yes,
Mind flayers crossed with Medusas did this.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, look how pretty my dice look in here. Oh,
I
they're
know,
so
right?
lovely.
So
Okay,
good.
so I just looked at the Twitch stream while you were holding up. I'm like, that looks like Kalara's head.
Oh no, Kelara, no, no.
I mean, kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. Wait, this one?
It's like, no.
No, that's Godfrey.
That's Godfrey.
There we go.
Yes.
That's Godfrey's
Thank
father.
you. Now kiss.
So, folks,
Please,
if you're
my father
tuning
was my
in,
Godfrey.
if you're tuning in live right now, you got to see the first public release of the Arcos poster, the Dreams of Arcos, which is what it's finally going to be called. I bounced around names forever, and then I was like, oh, I should just go with the simple one, because simple is almost always better for your titles, unless the title has the word rise in it. And in case, just don't do it. It's a bad idea. I hate movies that use rise in their title. It's. But anyway,
Which,
Arcos.
speaking of, I'm still having costume. Like, I still should check my
You should.
package on that. But I've been having such a struggle to get that red piece of fabric. It's just AliExpress never delivered it, Amazon never delivered it, so now I'm using Temu, and it should be here in like the next 2 days at my new place. But like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I've struggled so much for the piece of fabric.
Ooh, piece of fabric. So, folks, a couple of big things that are coming around. I want to thank you all for being patient. We had to postpone last night's episode of Shards of Nirn because the setup still wasn't there. Robin just moved, so everything is kind of in flux. However, now it seems like everything is going really well. The internet's working really well here, and everything should be running pretty smoothly. So you should be able to expect the normal schedule from here on in, with an exception of a bonus thing on Friday night. We weren't sure if we were going to have time to broadcast an episode of Strixhaven, but we do. We have Friday, so we're going to give you an extra episode of Strixhaven on public release this week on Friday. Which means that it's going to be up on Twitch on Friday and on YouTube on Saturday. So you'll get extra of that. And speaking of that, also this weekend on Sunday on the Patreon, we have the third episode, third or fourth? Fourth. The fourth episode of Technocracy Zero Sum, which means at the end of this month, the first episode is public release. And so the 0th episode is going to go out the week before. So there's that. Other exciting things that are happening in May that you should be aware of are, let's see, we have 2 new games that are starting this month. One on our Patreon on May 28th. The first episode of Panic at the Radiant Citadel is going to begin. So that's Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, ran by Robin. And then on the 28th as well, same day, actually before it, over on the main channel, is the Session 0 for Dreams of Arcos, the ad that I was just talking about, which is a game set in a pseudo-mythological area of our homebrew world. So if you like supporting homebrew, it's a great way to do it, and to come and try out our setting, which I think you'll really like. It's also going to include some additional mechanics that I've devised for the game. And some of the things that I really want to start looking at as well, by the way, are ways to use hit dice. One of the things that I've done in the past for wizards in my setting and for spellcasters in general is allowing you to expend hit dice to upcast spells. So things like that. I'm trying to figure out a way to do that with fighters to make it better. It could just be adding hit dice to attack rolls, right? So that could be pretty big for a barbarian. It's not quite as even, though, as it is to say like a wizard who wants to cast like a level 10 fireball, or who wants to cast Dispel Magic at a higher level. So they blow a bunch of spell slots. They blow a bunch of hit dice to gain spell slots. But then, of course, hit dice only regenerate at 50%. even with a comfortable long rest, right? You only gain back half as many a day, usually. So I'm trying to find out a bunch of ideas to... oh, your thing's in Vancouver, Robin? Nice. Why is it in Vancouver?
I put my hand up real quick because I was like, oh, I just actually looked at the tracking because I got a notification from Canada Post. And I was like, oh, is that the actual package? And I looked on the tracking thing, and yeah, it's in Richmond as of today. So that's lovely. So it should hopefully get here, like, actually by the 5th.
Nice.
And if it's not, Temu will refund me, which is great. Like, give you $5 credit if it doesn't show up before the 5th. So that's nice.
Fair. And then, of course, tomorrow is May the 4th. We don't have any Star Wars content for you. Although, hey, folks, if enough of you join the damn Patreon, I'll run a Star Wars game. Like, I'll do it. And you know that my Star Wars games would be slick.
I want to be in a Star Wars game for me.
Okay, so here's the deal. There's 2 flavors of Star Wars game that you can run, really, right? There's way more than that. But there's 2 types that I would be interested in running. One would be The Mandalorian as a game, right?
Mm.
That would be the easiest to get a soundtrack for from our licenses and things like that, because half the fun of running a Star Wars game at home is the music, because you can just play John Williams and nobody's going to copyright strike you. But I guarantee if I played like like three notes in, I'd get a Disney strike. I know it. This is the way they are. The other is Jedi, because I'm a lightsaber kid.
Yes.
I mean, who isn't?
Yeah, who isn't? Who did not grab like sticks and go vroom, vroom, vroom?
I mean,
like,
And make that noise.
I do have a T-shirt that is from the Star Wars MMO that is the dark side option. So
my partner, Petite Medic, made me an Obi-Wan like Jedi robe costume, and we did a little like Obi-Wan and
it's so cute.
Obi-Wan and
I love that.
Well, it's one of those
shoot, and it was really nice. It was fun.
We did a big cosplay for for episode 3 when it came out, and I just like Jedi outfits are the most comfortable thing ever. The easy one, if you go back and watch our Candlekeep Mysteries episode, I played a Jedi in an episode. I played a Psy Warrior based on Obi-Wan Kenobi, and his entire outfit was 3 pairs of pants. Because if you take a pair of pants and put them around your neck with the legs down, you can pin them into a Jedi costume.
It was really ingenious. It was like, huh.
I also wanted to do a quick shout out because I got a YouTube comment a little while ago, and I know a lot of you really like our opening trailer with the whomp whomp whomp. That is Here There Be Dragons, or Here Be Dragons. I can't remember the exact title. I think it's Here There Be Dragons.
Here There Be Dragons.
Here There Be Dragons by Tim Kulig, and Tim Kulig offers his music online for free. You just need to credit him, which we obviously do because the music's great, and we've used some of his stuff in the past for backgrounds of games and stuff like that. But it really encompassed Dragonlance, and he left a comment on one of our YouTube videos and was a really, really cool guy. He was like, yeah, this is the kind of thing I designed this music for. This is exactly the type of thing that keeps me going. So I just wanted to say, if you like his music, go check out Tim Kulig. Give him some upvotes. Share him around. So it's Tim Kulig, and it really made this campaign, like having that opening song, and like it's just so damn good. So Tim Kulig, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you for leaving that comment. That really meant a lot. I need to respond to it in as much. But now that I have this going up on video, I could be like, hey, check this out, where I call you out directly and say, you're a cool guy. Thank you. So yeah, we need to head back into game in just a minute, but is there anything else that we should talk about real quick? The last thing I want to say is that in June, we have a couple of things that are coming to the channel that you all should be aware of. The first is that on Patreon, I think we're doing the session 0 on the 5th. But on June 12th, for sure, we're running the first session of Star Trek Adventures, ran by Bunny Hearted. It's going to be great. That is a fantastic cast that is going to include myself and Cal is going to be there, and then some other people are going to be there, and the characters are going to be great. It's going to be very lower decks themed. The reason that I'm asking is that so we had a big like Patreon jump where it was like, oh, we're going to run this at 150 patrons. And then we actually like dipped. We're like 100. We're under right now. That total, because a bunch of people's patrons expired or their cards declined or something. It happens. It's not a big deal. But if you're looking to join the Patreon, this would be a great time. I'm going to run the game anyway because we hit the total. I said we were going to do it, so we're going to do it. And because I want to play, right? But if you wanted to join the Patreon, this would be a great time. Just saying. That's my shill. Also, the following weekend, the 16th through the 18th, is Onyx PathCon. So Onyx Path Publishing, of course, publishes World of Darkness content, Chronicles of Darkness content, and things like that, as well as their own story path systems like Aberrant and Scion. We are going to be running basically we donate Dork Tales' channel to them over that weekend and do a bunch of promotions and work with them on stuff. So it's a great con. It's totally free. Come watch stuff. It's going to be great. Dork Tales is doing a bunch of cool stuff. I can't tell you exactly everything because it's still being in the works, but I can guarantee that the Dork Tales team is running 4 games over the weekend. And I'm going to tell you what they are. I didn't sign anything, so screw it. I'm going to be running a Mage the Ascension game. That I'm filling out the cast for. It is going to be a Lore of the Tradition-centric game, so one that is set in the last 20 years sometime. I am going to be running a short episode of Scion. I am going to be running an episode of... What's the other one I'm running? Am I running Aberrant? I feel like I'm running...
Yes, you're running Aberrant.
Okay. And then Krista is going to be running an episode of Pugmire. So Pugmire is Onyx Path's kind of like D&D. It's like D&D 5e spun off out of the SRD, but you're playing anthropomorphic animals. So it is D&D with furries, basically.
Isn't it like technically like a post-apocalyptic?
Secretly, yes. Your characters don't know it, but you are.
Huh.
So and all of the spells are actually nanites or something like that.
And it's
cool.
And like the Church of the Good Boy or something like
I
that.
want to be a golden retriever paladin that serves the Church of the Best Boy.
Yes.
I'll put you in Krista's game. We have like 2 seats left.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm hitting up
peanut butter.
You do it. Well, hey, it's Mr. Peanut Butter. I'm going to hit up all the Dork Tales team first, and then I'm going to farm it out to some of our channel buddies and see if they want to play. So yeah, definitely hit me up. Because more games is more fun. But yeah, we got tons of stuff coming your way, and on the Patreon as well. I am gonna spend probably a lot of tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get Hunter the Vigil out, episode 2 in the next day or two, and we also have an episode of Demon the Descent in the can that was really great, making Michael squirm like that. And then the last thing I'm going to say is that over the summer, we're also going to do some more Alien because people have been watching that like crazy on YouTube, and I'd love to just do more because it's a fun system, and apparently people like it. So those are the 2 things that get me to do more projects, right? Like, people like it, you guys like it. There's a fly in Jen's room, apparently.
Yeah, how does that play like? Because I love that franchise, but
do you want to be in it?
Thought of it. Oh, you're starting a new one.
No, so what we're doing, we're gonna pop back. Don't worry, we're gonna pop back in just one sec.
Bye, guys.
So there's the opening module, Charity of the Gods, which is like, oh hey, it's basically Alien, the original Alien. Like they find a derelict ship, stuff happens. Yeah. The next one is the survivor from that ends up landing on a planet with space marines.
So then it's like Aliens.
Mm-hmm. And that's called Destroyer of Worlds, and we're going to be running that pretty soon. I got to reach out to Free League and see if they can have any giveaways so we can maybe hook some people in the chat up with stuff.
Oh, yeah. Game over, man.
Yeah. And then after that, there's a 3rd module they're working on that I don't know what it's about yet. But yeah, so it's going to be pretty cool. I think you should consider being in it, Cal.
Oh, no, yeah, actually.
Because I think Krista's going to jump on that too. And
you mostly come at night. Mostly. Yeah, I love it.
It's a really good system. It runs on D6s. It has a stress mechanic. And in Krista's words, out of all of the games that have systems that have like trauma or mental health mechanics, this is the one that makes the most sense. and is the least like, oh, you're a bad person because you have a mental health issue or something like that, right? It's literally like, oh, you have trauma. You find it very difficult to get going and starting new tasks when you're having a down day.
Explains a lot. I watched a lot of alien movies when I was...
It's just aliens, right? Okay. All right, folks. With that, I think it is time for us to head back in to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, here on Dork Tales. Any last minute questions, comments, concerns before we begin? All right. So with that, let's head back in. Hello and welcome back to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, here on Dork Tales. You take a moment, well, quite a few moments actually, to rest, recuperate, catch your breath, and prepare yourselves to enter the shrine. You find yourselves there in the main room, and let's switch back over. You find yourselves back in that main room. As you do, Ishvern walks further into the temple, and as he does, he leads you to a room to a door along the eastern wall. Pressing into it, he opens and steps inside. Do you follow?
Should we not also pay some sort of respects to the altar here?
If you've cleansed yourself, you've done enough.
Okay.
Come. And with that, he puts his hands on the doors and steps inside. Who follows him?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The room that you find yourself within is bereft of any other people. It's empty, but its northern door, as you step into it, bears an inscription in Elvish that any of you who is able to read such will see says, "Honor those who came before and walk on."
Honor those who came before and walk on.
You say that in common?
Yes.
Oh, that's what it means. I see. I'm picking up a little bit of your Elvish, so I saw those come on. That's all I understood from that. Everything else was a bit jumbled.
Hopefully, we will be able to say the correct rites.
Have
Yes,
another
Sir
adventure
Godfrey.
like that again.
Are there, maybe, do you have any sayings or anything you do before a hunt? Any sort of traditions along those lines that,
Or funerals? As well? Birth?
Yes. May the Sea Lord... Well, he will say this in Elvish, of course. Tuala melanto kunas minailo. May the Sea Lord walk with us and swim beside us through our travels. Give us the strength to rise above the waves. Malato. Here goes nothing. And with that, he will push through the doors into the next room.
Right.
Aurontiros, you and the rest will step in behind him. The room appears to be some sort of crypt. Stepping into the room, you will see that there are alcoves to the west and the east of this chamber that hold waist-high stone sarcophagi, sculpted with images of shells and graceful sea creatures. Do you look around?
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Not touching,
Without touching
anything.
Without touching anything.
All right, so looking around, not touching anything. As you do that, let's see, going through here. So I believe just Riz and Aurontiros have a passive perception of 16 or higher, right?
And Kelara, who's not here.
Yeah.
And Kelara, who's not here. Okay, so looking around, the sarcophagus to the west bears an inscription in Elvish. In fact, all of the sarcophagi here, both of them, bear these inscriptions on them in Elvish. Aurontiros, with a casual glance, you'll be able to read one of them. Hazeal, who built this prayer in stone. As you look at that, you will see that a design on the lid resembles the layout of the shrine. However, as you glance at this one, moving over to the one to the west and just taking a glance at it, Aurontiros, you'll see that it shows one entrance into this room. But on the sarcophagus, there are two entrances. Another door leads to the southwest. Well, another door leads to the west from the southern corner of this room, I should say. To the east, a different inscription is on the crypt in Elvish. Aurontiros, our devoted first priest. And looking around, Aurontiros, what are you doing?
Just going to be reading it out loud in common for everyone else. Even if those of you do not know how to read Elven, you may see this temple depicted on both of these. It appears that there's another exit or entrance.
Rizira's gonna go down towards the, like, looking on the map. She's gonna go down to the corner where it looks like it says there's like an entrance. She's gonna start feeling around.
Sounds good. What's your passive perception again? Remind me, please.
20.
20. So as you walk down to this corner, down at the southern edge, you are going to feel a slight sucking in the air. Just a very little bit of air moving along some of the bricks of the wall. There's a door here.
What exactly did they say on the crypt or tombs?
It appears that the two buried here were... sorry, Kelly, it was the first priest.
The first priest, yes.
And I can't remember the other one.
The other one said... The first one says, Hazeal, who built this prayer in stone, and then back there, Aurontiros, our devoted first priest.
Built this prayer in stone.
The only prayer in stone that you remember seeing is the one in the previous chamber above the door. The one that stated, honor those who came before and walk on.
And that was to the entrance to the...
That was at the entrance to this room, yes.
Oh, what are the offer, or like what are the offerings or the things depicted on the tombs here?
On the tombs? Nothing really. It just appears that at the center of each of them, there is a small indentation, large enough to perhaps put something about the size of maybe like a handful of something into. It's been a week, so I'll just remind you since last came. You know that Ishvern had said that after his people and his priest, after she had been taken by the Red Dragon army, he had still managed to salvage some of the ceremonial pearls.
Right.
So he has a few of those on him.
Oh, right. Yeah, Riz was looking at those with a lust in her eyes at the end of the game. I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
Ishvern,
Yes, my friend.
though your priest had been taken, what do you make of these these resting places.
Uh,
I have no gifts of the sea to bring, but
Here. And he'll reach into his pouch and hand you one of the sea pearls. What do you do with it?
I place it in the little cup.
So the little indentation, it'll roll around for a moment before it kind of comes to a slow, wobbling stop. And then will and dissolve into so much blue and green dust. And then, Riz, as you're standing over by that southern door, there's going to be a sound as the door glows for a moment and then swings inward.
Oh, I did it. I got the door open. I didn't do anything, though. Did someone do anything? The door is open.
Oh, excellent.
Wait, Riz, don't go alone.
I am not going yet. Riz is like looking intently down the corridor.
So, down the corridor ahead of you, you can see that steps ascend above you into a room and then kind of bend at a 45-degree angle to the south.
Guys, there's steps here. They go up and then it turns a corner.
This must be the ceremonial chamber.
Do you need to put... So, I know I made a joke that I didn't do anything, but how did we get the door open? It glowed.
Ishvern brought an offering from the sea.
Oh.
Beautiful pearls were accepted at one of the resting places.
Do you need to do both of them? If we're supposed to honor them.
Apparently just honoring one was sufficient.
Oh, alright. Alright,
Shall we continue?
Yeah, Riz is going to be looking for traps. She's
Sounds
learning.
good. Are you taking it extra slow, or are you just kind of keeping your normal perceptions out?
I think she'll just keep her normal perceptions out.
Okay. Stepping up, Ishvern will follow behind you. Who's going next?
I will.
Okay.
I'll follow next.
Okay, and then Hazel, you'll
Then I'll go.
follow the very back. Heading up the stairs, you will wind around the corner to the left and find yourself in a room covered in thick black algae. At the center of the room stands a well, from which emanates the sound of distant waves and the cries of seabirds.
Riz is like so looking over the edge of that well.
Godfrey will be nervously hovering around
What
Riz.
What is upwards? Is this...
So above, there is nothing above you. It is just an enclosed chamber. But this well reaches down what seems like an infinite amount. And down below, you can hear the sound of shrieking seagulls, of sloshing waves.
Do we need to offer another pearl to this? Or are we supposed to jump in it? Is this supposed to be like a test of faith thing where you like leap down?
Careful.
And trust-
No, I think that this is where we are supposed to be. If you could join me around here. Can you join hands?
Alright, let's do it.
Yeah, Riz is like eagerly doing this. She's like so into this.
Ishvern will shut his eyes and will reach out and clasp Aurontiros' hand in one of his, and will start muttering in Elven, a soft prayer. Tualas Menkano, Tualas Matuna, Habbakuk, Tualas Malan Tire, Sunara, Botara, Lumos, Dianto. In Elven, this prayer is quite heartfelt, Aurontiros, and to describe it in common would be a bit of a stretch. But to say it as bluntly as I can for the rest of the listeners here would be to say, we have traveled far on this pilgrimage. We call out to you, Father of the waves, Father of nature, who has blessed us with the bounty of the sea, with the boundary of the land, and with dominion over all things beneath the blessed waves. We can ask for no more than we are given. And yet, humbly request that you maintain your patronage over us forevermore. Please accept these as the most humble of offerings. And as he says that, he will reach forward and will dump second pouch, and you'll see much smaller beads, but these, like, what must be a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen of these sea pearls just tumble out of the bag, each about the size of a small marble. They will tumble down into the depths. And as they do, you will hear the cry of seabirds and smell the briny sea air waft out from this little well. And each of you will feel a chill up your spine, and will feel that sting of salt air on your cheeks. And for a moment, just for a brief moment, your ears will suddenly become awash, like you dived underneath the waves, like you've dove down as far as you could go. You feel the pressure beginning to compress around you, the cold feeling of water becoming neutral, buoyant, warm. And then that feeling of unimaginable velocity as you break through water, swimming upward. Each of you is going to gain a blessing. Habbakuk's blessing, to be precise. For the remainder of your travel through the Northern Wastes, you now have advantage on survival checks to notice the wash, the water that fills the chasms. Additionally, while traveling, you and up to 5 other creatures with you, that is collective, not 5 per, will ignore difficult terrain outdoors in the Northern Wastes, which allow you to move double pace. You'll be able to travel at double speed to what we originally had determined, so you'll be able to move several hexes per day rather than just one. You will instinctively know that this blessing will last as long as you are in the Northern Wastes, and only 1 day more beyond that. So if you ever leave, you better come back the next day, or else this blessing will be gone.
So it was advantage on survival checks for
to notice the wash. Yeah, because that is a constant threat. But it is the difficult terrain ignoring. So that's not enough to like bring the army with you, but it's enough that you'll easily be able to have Kelara and Levna affected by this. And up to 3 other people that you find. So if you meet up with Dalamar again, you could include him, or anyone else.
Can that change?
Any 5 people with you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, actually, technically it doesn't say that it is. No, I mean, technically, I guess that means that it could be up to 20 people with you. Because this blessing is per.
Oh,
Small army.
Yeah,
yes.
you know what? You know what? It is an individual blessing, not a group blessing. So yeah, I'll allow that.
Oh shit.
So each of
Nice.
you basically is blessed to be a scout through here. So that's even better than I originally had intended. As you feel that, the shrine will go quiet for a moment. And as you kind of shiver it off, Ishvern will thank you. Thank you for accompanying me here. I know it is strange to ask outsiders to come with me.
Thank you for bringing us and guiding us through here. I think this... We'll just kind of look at himself a little bit. I think this will be this was quite fortuitous for all of us.
Yeah, does
Well-
anyone feel a little salty, but like in a good way? Like,
Always.
I mean,
did we just get blessed by a god? I've never been blessed by a god before. I know Isman said he has many times, but I don't know if that was true or not.
you are lucky. Habbakuk is very forgiving.
Sorry. She's gonna look down the well again.
Perhaps we should be heading out of here. The blessing has been made.
Thank you for sharing that with us as well. It's a weird. You said it's weird asking strangers to come help you. It's also weird to get to let strangers in on your very like special. What did you call it? How did you call it again?
Ceremony.
Pilgrimage.
Ceremony. Oh, pilgrimage. Yeah, that's the word.
Yes. If only our friends had been able to be here. It should not have been me. It should have been... It should have been my priest. It should have been Yerkel.
But
I
maybe
hope-
now he can help bless us to go. You know, help find and rescue your priest.
I hope so. I pray that she is alive. Let's
Hopefully-
make our way back to camp. I'm sorry, friend Elf.
Seems the gods maybe gazing upon Kryn once again. After this, and seeing our own priestess of Mishikal, perhaps not all is lost to the dragon armies.
If the gods of Kryn have returned, then I suppose that means all of the gods have returned. This is not fortuitous. This explains the armies of the Dragon Queen. A red dragon army. If what the Sylvanesti have said is true, a blue dragon army. There must be white and green. Yellow?
Gold? I'm not
I'm not up on my dragon colors.
now. They're Hazeal, you can do a thing where
Are you good with colors?
She's very good with colors.
Are you an artist?
No.
Oh, I would say so.
I see.
In the chamber below, you breathed ice. And,
That's not a color.
well, I've been told that the different dragons have different
Have you never
powers.
had you've never had a deep sea raspberry? They are blue.
I feel like there's a bad joke coming.
They are very cold. They are chill raspberries. They're good. It just made me think of it. It's Arctic freeze. It's a beverage we have down here.
We have something a little bit different, a little bit more hot where we're from, called Baja Blast. So I do understand.
This blast sounds very powerful. Perhaps we should continue this conversation at my camp.
Agreed.
All right. Making your way out of here, you are going to head back outside and make your way over to what can only be the camp of the Blue Phoenix Shrine. The other 5 are sitting around inside of some seaward tents that are kind of on the edge of this canyon crevasse, scraggly trees rising up out of them, and little like inlets of water kind of streaming around the center of this camp. Some of the water actually fairly fresh. Leave it to sea elves to find fresh, at least clean water. And as you are approaching, you are going to hear the sound of just a crackling fire, bits of chatting, and bits of laughing. Sharp and loud. It sounds like Levna's laughter. Oh, whew! This shit's actually pretty good.
Riz would like to sneak up on Levna.
Okay, make me a stealth check.
I would love to make you a stealth check. Chunky die. Chunky die. Did I roll? Yep, Jen, your die gave me my first nat 1.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope. Jen told you. Jen told you. Jen
Did.
told you.
But it might be some
Right,
of
probably.
my residual chaos luck.
It's true. It's true.
Transfer.
So what was
over,
your so as you are creeping up on her, what's your intention to do? She's just sitting they're all sitting around this fireplace and you're kind of like making your way over.
She was going to like try and sneak up behind Levna and do the like guess who thing, like where you put your hands over like the face thing. So
Okay.
she's going to just try and sneak up behind Levna.
Okay. So you try to do the guess who thing, and as you do, you're gonna go guess who, and are going to just like, she's holding a plate of something up by her mouth, and you're just gonna end up like knocking this plate directly into her face. All the food is gonna go like all across it, and she's gonna turn around. Little bits of what look like cooked rice and strips of kelp and bits of fish and some type of like vegetables are going to be like stuck all over her face, and she's going to turn slowly with the slow menace of a mother of 4. He's going to just hello, Riz.
Sorry about that. I did not realize you were eating. Looks tasty.
Oh, Rizira, it's good to see you. Kelara will say, I made fish. Oh, Godfrey, and everyone else, it's good to have you back. There's fish and rice, and they have this really interesting sauce here. Where did you say it comes from? Soybeans. Fermented. It's very good. A little salty.
Aurontiros is gonna
Thank
like
you.
use a finger and like touch Levna's face and be like, "Huh,
It's like,
not bad."
I always thought you were a messy eater. Thanks, Kelara. Like this is really lovely. Levna, do you want a second bowl?
Yes, I would love a second bowl, Godfrey.
Right on it, sir.
Riz is gonna happily and hungrily eat the food and just like.
All
I
right.
think at one point, Hazeal is talking with Aurontiros, and she's like, "But what do you mean by color? Like, is this what you mean?" And we'll do color spray on Aurontiros because apparently Cal wants that.
Okay.
Because I think it's
Bunch,
funny.
Okay. Go ahead and cast color spray on Cal. On Aurontiros, I guess. You can cast on Cal later too.
It is a 15-foot cone, so also anyone behind him. But there's a dice roll, so so many d10s though.
All right. So go ahead.
18, 20, 32 hit points.
32 hit points worth of
And it
damage.
starts with the person with the lowest. No, it blinds people as per hit points.
Okay.
So
you know what? I'm gonna spend one of my hurt the mores and double that.
cool. Okay. So yeah,
Cal, how many hit points
creatures
do
in a
does
15-foot
Aurontiros have?
cone. Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures and creatures that can't see. So you start with the person with the lowest hit points, and then each creature affected by this spell is blinded until the end of my next turn. And then you subtract the hit points as you go.
Well, it's probably
Alright.
me with the least amount.
How many hit points do you have?
Are those temporary hit points still here?
Yes, they are.
45.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna kind of like look over, and this is just gonna hit you like dead in the face, just. And you're just gonna be seeing. You're basically gonna be looking through a kaleidoscope for the next 5 minutes.
Like colors. That's
And
what you mean? Like colors.
As you are looking around, all of you are going to see this like spray of color erupt out of Hazeal that are going to just like shoot Aurontiros right in the face. Aurontiros, you're going to be able to like kind of see after a minute of rubbing your eyes, but everyone's going to have these like bright, vibrant, like pink and gold and blue halos all around them.
By the gods, I can see auras now.
Did you
Dwarven
get them?
magic.
I really need to learn.
Are you
magic.
okay? Aurontiros, you shouldn't look directly at a wizard's spell, Kelara will say. Or a sorcerer.
That's his first lesson as my apprentice.
What is... You have a gold and white aura, Kelara. I think that's you.
Oh, it means that I just cooked you dinner. Here.
Oh. And Riz, is that you? You've gone so tall, and it's just Levna. And
Oh, yes.
shouldered.
Yeah, I've really bulked out since you saw me last.
I've been working out.
Godfrey is just like not hiding his laughter, like trying
voice,
to,
too.
but failing miserably.
I'm not doing the voice.
Oh, come on. Just a little bit higher.
You're working out the voice.
Oh, just a little bit higher. Oh, look at me. I'm a kender. I take
There we
things
go.
that don't belong to me.
I borrow them. See, the first thing.
I was
it's not
taking different than borrowing.
Aren't
give
you
it
two
back.
engaged too?
Oh, Aurontiros. Yeah, you're engaged to Aurontiros. Riz looking at Levna.
Who's on second? What?
Levna's gonna put like a hand on Aurontiros' like shoulder and chest and just gonna like hold it there for a sec, look him up and down. You're almost hairless enough for me. And kind of push him over toward Riz.
Almost. I'll have you know I don't have a single hair on my entire body except for my face and head.
Well, that's too much information that I didn't need to know.
This is true of all else.
I
Oh
regret
my.
my actions.
Where's the here? I'll get some more of that
Well,
fish
this was
stew. It's
common
delicious.
knowledge.
Thank
Why
you,
is
Kelara.
everybody thrown off by this?
Yeah, Kelara, what do you prefer? A little hair or no hair?
I prefer the sushi.
Good answer.
It's very good.
What's sushi?
It's apparently a Demernesti word for raw fish.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh,
Or wrapped in rice. Yes, one of them will say.
Godfrey,
that's
is that
lovely.
you? You have a red and purple aura.
And as you
He's
look at
going-
Godfrey's, aura, suddenly the entire sky behind Godfrey is going to go and crackle to light as you're going to hear thunder erupt overhead, and rain is going to start to fall all around. What do you do, Aurontiros? You were reaching forward.
What? Godfrey, I've seen the other side. My God, it's full of stars.
Aurontiros, maybe you should sit down before you. Here. Let's get you some sushi. Was it?
Yes, sushi. Could go for some sushi right now. Thank you.
So
Sushi.
What kind of an aura does Hazeal have?
Hazel's. It's green. Green and gold.
That's interesting.
As the water begins to fall around you, the elves are going to get to work grabbing the big sail-sized tent pieces they have and drawing them together to form a canopy overhead, buffeting some of the water down. It's very strange, one of them will say in common, looking over at you. I'm used to the water coming from all around, but from the sky in such small portions is very... And it's so cold. How do you get used to this?
Could it be colder than even the ocean?
The ocean is not cold. Not once you get used to it.
Yes, I'm not a fan of the sky water myself.
I'm not a fan of the sky. It's unlimited. Perhaps you understand, friend dwarf.
Yes. What did you think when you first saw it? Do you remember? We were walking in the forest and
Hazeal, is this the first thunderstorm you've ever seen?
It might be,
Lightning
yeah.
is arcing across the sky, almost like the gods themselves are waving branches made of light above you. It rumbles like a deep cavern cave-in all around you.
Yeah, I think Hazel's like fidgeting and almost she's not paying attention to what people are asking because she's just staring.
So what happened? What happened in the underneath? Did you find what you were looking for, Ishvan? Yes. The prayers were successful. The Sea Lord has been appeased. My friends, thank you for accompanying me. These are friends of ours, good people. I ask that if you would like to, you may sleep here tonight beneath our canopy to stay dry and warm.
That would
Oh, that
be
would be very
appreciated.
nice.
that
Yes.
would be lovely.
Good. Please, enjoy your food. This is a delicacy. The one that your priestess has grilled. It's deep sea eel. We brought some with us because it keeps well. It's like a snake, but in the ocean. Would you like to see one?
Yeah, that would be great.
And they will reach into, one of them has like a wicker, almost like a wicker basket, but made out of like seaweed. And as he reaches over to it, it's going to slosh a little bit. And you'll see that inside something is moving a little bit. They are a little bitey, so be careful. and we'll go and pull the lid off of this. It's kind of like a backpack almost, the way that they can carry it. And inside, you're going to see that there are several eels, which you may have heard of, you may have seen in some of your visits in portside towns, but these deep sea eels are, they're almost pure white looking at them. Streaks of silver down their scales, well, not really much of a scale, but down their exteriors. But in the firelight, they almost kind of glow a little bit incandescently as they shift around.
That is amazing.
And one of them is going to kind of like breach the water, look at you, and is going to hiss directly at you, which you are not going to be startled by at all because you're a Kender.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to splosh back into the water, and he's going to put the lid back on it. Delicious.
Oh, you brought them on? You brought them live?
Yes. Otherwise, we would have to pickle them, which is difficult underwater.
You know what? You pickle things?
We know of pickles. Yes. Everyone pickles things.
Wait, you could pickle things and then just bring them underwater.
Yes, we do, but it's a bit of a complex situation. It's hard to do. You must prepare in advance. How do they pickle things in Qualinesti?
Cucumbers?
Well, yes, of course you do
pickle
sea
sea cucumbers.
How? You find
Yeah.
a magma vent, and you create a... okay. One of them is going to lean forward and kind of like adjust his hair, kind of, and go, look, if we're talking about this, I'm the one who does all the pickling back home, and it's very easy. What you must do is create a suction inside. We usually generally use like a blowfish bladder, so that you can have a neutral pH balance inside of this actual container. Then what you do is you feed inside. He's going to go through this like this deep-winded scientific underwater pickling example.
We use a type of
Yes.
vegetable.
Yes. That's what a sea
And-
cucumber is.
I thought a sea cucumber was an animal.
There are different. There are sea cucumbers, and then there are sea cucumbers. Magic. He'll say.
Ah, say no more, cousin.
It's all pickle magic.
It's pickle magic all the way down.
It's pickle magic all the way down. And as he says that, you are going to hear some footsteps approaching in the distance, actually at a bit of a run. Turning around, Ishvern will look at the edge of the group, and it's a single person kind of running up. And reaching the edge of the group, you're going to see that there is a slightly out of breath one of the sea elves. Ishvan, he says, and we'll approach. Which, in Elven, of course, is... I managed to trace them back. I know where they are. Excuse me, he says in common as he turns to you. The companions are the ones that were captured, as well as the priest. I was able to track them. I know where they are.
How can we help?
Yeah.
Ishvern will look over at you and back. Tell us where they are. They are at a place, a dragon army camp in the middle of a murky lake. Several days, quite a ways from here.
Were you able to tell which direction they were heading?
It's a stationary camp. Up by the sky's tears. Levin is going to go, hey, map. Who has the map?
I'll take out the map.
Taking out the map. he'll look down, and the scout will look it up and down and will say, yes, around here. And he will mark a place on the map that is, from where you are, quite a ways. I would say quite a ways. A good week's journey, at least, to the north.
Is that a week's journey with our new move?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were moving this direction. Here.
We gotta keep searching around anyway, and maybe we can find some more answers in the camp. They're looking for the same place as us. We can let Dalamar know with the rocks what we found here and where we're going. Use the Fargab to keep our forces in the know, and maybe we can help our new friends.
That would be wonderful. He turns and looks at you, and you're trustworthy. You have traveled with us. You've gone into Habbakuk's shrine. The Sea Lord has blessed you. I have very little left, but find and free my captives, and I will happily give you the remainder of what is in this bag. And he holds up his pouch of pearls. As a thank you.
Oh, I think we could try and do that.
Bring them
Would
back
be-
and they're yours.
We appreciate it, but we stand on the side of all that is good. And though we have known you but part of a day, those that stand on the side of good and that oppose evil, all we can do is help each other.
Well said.
That's very kind. But I also believe in rewarding those who go out of their way to help us. It is part of our culture. Also, these are very beautiful. But we're not very big on commerce or capitalism beneath the waves. Whereas your people tend to use that. If it would help you buy supplies to fight the Red Dragon army, I would be happy to give them to you.
Yeah, I think we should take it. I think we should not dishonor this wonderful. I think it would be so rude not to accept the lovely gift that you're offering, Ishern. I think it would be quite a shame. So, you know what? Aurontiros does not want to accept it. I will gladly accept it on behalf of everyone.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's try and save them first.
That would be very helpful.
Your scouts, how big was this camp that he's seen?
I did not actually see it. I just heard they were headed for that direction. I heard them speaking. They said it was by the Sky Tiers. And they said that it is a place that they call Camp Carrion Clay. I know very little else. Aside that they said that there were many who were going to be meeting up there. Well, they looked for some city.
You heard that they were looking for a city.
Yes, I did not catch the name.
We too are looking Poor lost city.
Same one they are.
And now we can probably try and catch up to them. It seems like we've been blessed by Habbakuk.
I suppose this is good news then. Perhaps Habbakuk has guided you to us. The gods want you to travel and to stop them. Plus, Levna will say, that's good news. How long ago did you run into these guys? A couple of days ago? Well, that means at least the grunts and the rank and file further out from the camp. Best they know, they haven't seen or found this city yet then. Good. I wasn't looking forward to a siege.
Yeah.
Where's my sushi?
Right here.
Sushi.
Hazeal. Hazeal?
Why is the sky angry?
Oh,
We'll rest here tonight and head first at dawn. And
traveling in this would make things difficult.
And Hazeal, as
Think
you're
we
looking
need-
at the sky, Kelara will lean in and hand you a bowl of food. The sky's not angry.
gonna-
It's just where the water goes.
She's gonna have to put it into Hazel's hands before
She will. She'll
she's
put it
just-
into your hands and just pat your hands. You should eat.
It's good
Hazel,
food.
did you know that you can drink the water that falls from the sky?
What? Won't it be angry like the rest of the sky?
Some say that rain is a blessing.
It mostly just floods the caves.
Well, now you know where it comes from, whenever there's a flood.
Floods are bad. You saw the...
I wouldn't know. I've lived in trees most of my life. I
You
thought
went through
floods were
one.
good.
It was bad.
Let's rest. You should rest here. Thank you. And thank you for the food. And he will begin to eat as well.
Not a lot of fruit in the sea diet. See?
Oh, Aurontiros, I actually made you one that's, it's mostly land cucumber. We had a little bit as we were
Land
traveling.
cucumber. Thank you.
There was a little bit of both. So there's rice, there's whatever this sauce is. I'm not sure if there's fish in it, but they say it's just soybeans. So I think it should be fine. And rice, seaweed, a little bit of cucumber, and as well, a little bit of, I managed to find some spring onion.
Out here?
No, before we left. It's been in my pack.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It's either that or hardtack, and, well,
Or
without
these
wine.
weird ball things that Hazel gave us.
Oh, they look quite good.
Have you tried one?
Maybe another time. I'm pretty full on sushi. Here. And she'll pass you a bowl of the vegetarian option.
All right. Well, before everybody makes for camp, I think Aurontiros will play his Song of Rest
All
as everyone settles in for the night.
As you reach down and begin playing, rain buffets. Just slams to the side of these tents. And you begin picking through a tune, filling the air with a beautiful song of rest. As above you, the thunder crackles. The fireplace, or the fire pit near you, sputters from little bits of rain that fall in rivulets between the tent flaps. and your music fills this quaint hollow with you and the sea elves, enjoying a moment of rest before you continue on the trail of the Red Dragon Army. But I think that is where we're going to pick up next episode, because I want Kelara to be played by her own player rather than me next time. So thank you folks for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a great time. Did you guys have a good time, even though it was a slightly shorter game?
Yeah, that was fun.
was a perfect
Yeah.
little
Yeah, that was a
little
good.
dive.
Right?
A deep dive into the shortest water temple that I've ever experienced.
I know,
in my life,
right?
Actually,
Yeah.
Right?
Suspicious.
Suspiciously
we didn't even have
short
to like
waters.
swim from one compartment to another.
Or put on like iron boots or anything.
Yeah, there's time for that later.
Oh, no.
Speaking of which, that is going to be it for us tonight, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. There's going to be another episode next Wednesday, so definitely tune into that. And if you're a member of the Patreon, you need to come back on Sunday for Technocracy Zero Sum Episode 4. We also are doing Strixhaven release this Friday for the general public, so you want to tune into that around 7-ish. And then next Monday, if you're on the Patreon as well, we're back with the Patreon advance of Season 2 of Strixhaven. A lot of Strixhaven all of a sudden. Pretty good, right? With that, I gotta say thank you all for being here, folks. I hope you had a great time. A big thank you to Bookwyrm Games for being our sponsor. Go to questchest.info to learn about their new system agnostic Kickstarter. Game in a box that is being released at the end of the month. It's going to be fantastic. And finally, a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/dorktales, starting with our divine producer, who is my mom, which is kind of weird, but thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. To our demonic producer, Precarious, thank you so much, Uncle Breck. Good to have you there. Not my real uncle, but hey, you know what? Demonic contracts will do that to you. To our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric and Ink Goblin. You're both wizards. Thank you so much for being so magical. And finally, to the High Council of the Patreon, I have to thank the Traveler, Terran, Buddy, Trezelta, Cubby Gummy, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Drew Thompson, Sergio, Chef Aladeth, Larouk, Sorcerer Sanguine, and Mike Baxter. You're all phenomenal human beings, or at least hiding in the guises of them, and I could not thank you enough. If you want to join them, get your name read out at the end of episodes, and get advanced access to up to 6 extra games a month, go to patreon.com/dorktales today. Y'all are amazing, and I love you big much. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.